Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Podium with myself, Rich Newman, Hannah England and Katie Smith. This episode brought to you with Morton. And we've spoken about the fact that people are building up to spring races. Katie's going to talk in a minute about her High Rocks event that she's just been taking part in.
You try and stop her. She's definitely going to talk.
I know, yeah, exactly. There's no point trying to skirt past it, is there? And that benefits High Rocks athletes as well, Morton Fuel. But if you're into a big block, maybe for marathons, or you're about to hit it, so you're going to go into Brighton, Manchester, London, or a little bit further afield like Rotterdam or Boston, then the Marathon Training Collection is probably for you. It's all set up for a 12-week block. You'll get 2 boxes of gel 100s. That's the main gels. You get 1 box of the caffeine version, 1 box of the drink mix 160, and 1 box of the solid 160s as well, which I think we've all tried, and the bars are pretty good for fueling as well. So you get a gel flask, you get a solid plastic bottle as well, all thrown in, and it's designed to fuel you from the start of your 12-week block through to race day. It's all set up, all there, all for you, and you get 15% off through us. So Podium 2026 is your discount code at morton.com. It's a one-off purchase, and that will do the job for you. So, Katie.
Yes.
Let's...
There's been a lot of competitions this weekend, but let's start with the most important.
We're doing this on a Sunday, which we don't usually do, but that's because of the New Balance Indoor Grand Prix. So we're going to wrap that up for you.
Yeah.
That's why we thought we'd do it. So we've got a big week coming up at Podium, and it'll all make sense from Monday. You'll know what's going on. Did you nearly say what it was, Katie?
No, I didn't. I was about to really make it clear that New Balance Grand Prix is like our main talking point today, as opposed to my High Rocks. And then I thought, I'm really hopeful people know that already.
Yeah. But
we do have exciting news on the way. Yeah.
We do have exciting news on the way, which is why we're doing this on a Sunday. But Katie, you're how are the DOMs?
Wow. Yeah, it's not great actually. I think the one thing, so I was doing the High Rocks mixed relay. So 2 guys, 2 girls. You split the 8-kilometer runs and the 8 stations up. So you take so you always run first. So you run a K, do a station, come back, high five your teammate, they go to the next one. Or I suppose you could do back to back if you wanted, but that's insane. And because you're doing it in as fast as possible, and really max effort for any run plus station is probably 8 minutes total, kind of depending on what it is. You're going flat out, as opposed to if you were doing the whole thing on your own. I guess as a solo you would probably pace it a bit better. And we just all got ourselves so pumped. They billed it in Manchester as Friday night lights, so literally dimmed the lights. We weren't on till 8:30 p.m. I felt like an elite athlete. It was I felt like, we talked about the World Cross a couple of years ago was in Aarhus in Denmark, and they did this whole like beer tent thing and tried to make it really vibey with lights and everything. I mean, it was like that, but on another level. And I was like, right, I'm going for it.
Did you do a special entrance or anything?
Yeah,
like
you run through a tunnel. Yeah, I didn't plan that, and I didn't get like individually introduced, which I think was a bit of an oversight to the arena in Manchester. But it was cool. You run through this tunnel. Then? It's in the main conference space. So I think the Tory Party conference is there every year. It's right next to Deansgate and
which arena? Sorry,
it's called like the Manchester Conference Complex.
Okay, fine.
Centre or something.
Sounds so sporty.
Oh, it's sexy.
Not Co-op Live.
Not Co-op Live. That would have been cool. But the course was good. It was like a big long loop, so you weren't doing like 100 laps of it. But oh my gosh, I've never run so fast. I felt like a rock star. And then I went into my first station, which was the sled push, and it's 50 meters. And different weights for men and women.
That's the photo we've seen, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is.
Are we allowed to share your photo?
No one else needs to see.
No, she's not. She hasn't bought it. We've still got the watermark. So maybe we put it. Do we put it on the company?
I am tempted. Well, that's a shout. I do think the world needs to see it. Well, maybe not the whole world. Maybe just a few people. But guys, this is the biggest flex of my entire thing. And I've been doing a lot of training, and I generally, as you know, do strength training as opposed to running. So I'm really pleased with how much better my running has got in general. But I was number 1 overall on the sled push, men and women, in the relay.
Brilliant.
So went faster than anyone else.
That's
nice.
very good.
Very good.
Oh, yeah,
that's so cool.
Yeah, you should be proud of that.
Thank you very much. It absolutely ruined me for the rowing, which was my next station, which I bombed out on, but never mind.
We should have had your tips, Hannah, about, because I've been thinking about it this week as well. It's been one of those things that's talked about. Because I've been working on the Australian Open tennis, and obviously you have a night session. And the question being, especially if your second match on in a night session where it starts at like 7 p.m, what do you do if you're like second on? You don't start till 9:30, 10. What do you do all day? And I'm wondering what you did, Katie, just to try and keep yourself going. Like, because also, it's like what you eat, what you just do, because you got it all like hanging over you all the time. And this was your like Olympic final, and I'm just thinking like a world championship final. I think like Hannah, like that's something you had to. We were talking about it a little bit off air the other day, weren't we? I can't remember why it was, but I just said like, do you just sit in your hotel room when you go away all the time? That is such a miserable existence.
Yeah. And that's that's the cliche, isn't it? You only see the hotel and the track.
But were you like that? Did you want to get out a bit?
No. I was just like, any energy not put towards the race is total waste.
I think you don't think about that so much with athletes or sports people generally. Like, what are you doing all day?
I like watching One Tree Hill.
Is that what it was?
Great choice.
Thank you.
But I think I would want to distract myself,
the
and the OC is also a great choice.
Yeah. There's usually a rivalry between one of the two. One of the others.
I mean, they are essentially the same, really, aren't they?
Whoa.
Oh, sorry. No, that's actually that's a story. We don't have time for that today. I would want to get out and about, I think, and like have some fresh air and just not think. But I guess you don't want to be on your feet and stuff.
Yeah, no, don't want to be on your feet. You're probably tired from travelling the night before.
Yeah.
Like, no, you just like, I'm happy to sit in my room and just go out for a meal. I
remember what I did on Friday. I do remember I pushed all my meals back generally because I wasn't racing till 8:30. So I did breakfast late, lunch late, and then did and there was lots of pasta involved over the last 2 days as well. Also, it coincided with the Traitors finals. That was a bit of a thing to like navigate. Like, I had to stay off social media, and I just wanted to tell everyone about all my achievements.
About your sled push,
yeah, exactly.
Not so much for a spoiler alert, just because no one wanted to hear your high rocks.
No, that's why I had to stay off. Because
everyone was talking about the Traitors instead.
Yeah, I really didn't get the attention I deserved.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right. There's a number of things here that just weren't fair, really, for your big day.
But it's fine because I've signed up for one in Malaga in April. So watch this space.
That's nice. Cool.
And I'm doing doubles this time. So it's the full run, full station situation. So.
Nice. But we do need to get on with New Balance.
We do need to get on with New Balance Indoor Grand Prix. So loads of things to pick out here. I'm sort of wondering where to start. Do we go with some of the sprints? Because I think some of the bigger lines maybe are from the distance events. Let's go with the distance events first and work our way down, shall we?
Okay, do it.
But we might just sort of flip-flop. I think the headline from last night generally was Josh Hoey. Yeah. I think that's the big moment, the 800-meter world record, which fell. So it was a record that's been around for, is it 30 years? Set by Wilson Kikita. So I mean, now it kind of was all built up to be the headline moment, wasn't it? The big time trial, and he just got there. And I think we had a discussion on the preview about sort of Josh Hoey's year last year, but he was on fire at the start of the year, and obviously all burnt out come the summer when it really mattered. But also the fact that he doesn't seem to have stopped. So, I mean, what's the first takes you've got from this, and how much do we need to celebrate this achievement?
Oh, like massively, especially, I think it's phenomenal. There was a quote, I don't know if you guys remember, we talked about him leaving his coach at the end of the track season, and his previous coach, Justin Rinaldi, put out a message, he put out a post saying, phenomenal, like dead, so excited for him. This is absolutely wonderful. And I think, if he hadn't hit that world record and then it still sort of dampened the rest of the year, then you could probably criticize it. But at the end, he's now a world record holder, and that is awesome. It's a tough world record as well. And I was wondering, Katie, I love you had some kind of themes last summer talking about David Rudisha and sort of the honour of his world record being in a championship. So the one that was broken, Wilson Kikita, was no pacemakers at a world. So how does that sit a bit badly with you?
I was thinking about this. Well, I mean, the performance you cannot deny is phenomenal, and the way he runs it. And I thought down the back straight, final lap, I thought he was flailing there.
Yeah, same.
And I think he was so strong in that final 150, 100 meter. Like that was grit up there, and I was so impressed with that. And the story of his brother pacemaking him, like it's really lovely stuff, isn't it? And I also think like that adds its own kind of pressure in a way, doesn't it? And also how his year went last year with the amazing start and then it not being what he wanted. Like I think there were different types of pressure, but for me, the romanticized nature of it being a paced world record, it does make it different, I think, for me anyway.
Does it meet you halfway if it's your brother that paces you? You know,
that's what I mean. Like I buy into all of that. I think it's such a lovely story, and like the way his brother was like celebrating after, and I think he'd been asked to run through. I can't remember the exact time now it was, but he was like 2/100ths off, and like all of that is
a little bit off, wasn't he? And he chased the wave like back down again.
Yeah, exactly. Which also makes it amazing. But to do it completely on your own at championship level, I think that's the thing, right?
I agree, because I think it's just more like it's like a byproduct of the race rather than what you're going for, because you're still going for the gold medal. That's priority one. I think so then when it comes with I that's what I like. I like a world record that comes with the moment that you've actually gone there for.
So
I find it quite hard in some ways to get up for like these time trials, and I don't know why. It's just something that I've always found.
Do you feel
quite
differently
difficult.
about the road ones? You know, if like Sebastian Salway going for it in Berlin, like we were almost watching that on a split screen when we were in Tokyo. Like how do you feel differently about that on the road than the track?
Maybe a little bit. I don't know why. Do you know what? I think what would be the ones that I find really interesting are the ones where where it's more than one person involved in it. So you look back at Millrose last year with Fischer against Hocker, and they were pushing each other to Fischer getting that world record, and that's something I can get excited about, because you've got the race and the world record. But just a straight out sprint for a line is something that I find difficult. However, exactly what we're just saying, the fact that he did it with his brother makes it a lot more interesting, and the fact that it nearly got away from him and he pulled it back, that is what makes it like such an effort.
How old the world record is as well.
Yes,
I think
of course,
shows you how tough it is. And like if someone breaks Radisha's record in 20 years and is paced to it, like I would still be so unbelievably impressed. But it sort of feels like the way the 800's going, that might not be needed. Anyway.
I am really, really impressed by it. It's just that if you give me a barnstorming race for the ages against the world record time trial, I'm always going to take the race for the ages.
Well, and you just said, you cited Fischer and Hocker last year in Millrose. So how did you feel about Fischer versus Kessler for that men's 2K world record?
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because we've sort of noted it down here as well, but they're in very different places. So Hobbs Kessler didn't have a brilliant year last year, and he came off a better 24. And I'm actually really interested by some of the quotes after the race, because he said he sort of forgot the skill of running fast when tired. It was his quote, and he said with his coach, the phrase they were using was, "Don't squeeze, explode" at the end. Nice. And that's what he did. And he absolutely put the hammer down on Grant Fischer. And Fischer, who is the priorities are different at the moment. We've got Millrose next week, which is such a big occasion, again, because of what happened last year with that race with Hocker, but also because in the lead up to this, in the days leading up to the New Balance Indoor Grand Prix, we find out that Grant Fischer is in his first half marathon. He's going to be racing New York in March. So he's going up the distances. So when you come down to 2,000 meters, like what do you expect from Grant Fischer? Because it's still not that's like borderline, not quite in his wheelhouse. And you look at Kessler, who he's a mile world champion. Remember, this is sort of like, maybe his sweet spot is somewhere between 15 and 2,000. This is actually exactly where he needs to be and where he really delivers. And there are athletes that would suit that distance.
No,
better.
I think a 1,500 meter runner in January, like 2K, should 100% be their perfect distance.
Yeah,
and I think that's what Kessler showed, and it was cool quotes afterwards. I just love his quote at the end of the track season. He was so disillusioned because he said he'd done everything he could. He was 5th in Paris in 2024. He felt like 2025 had gone great. He'd tried everything. He'd thrown the kitchen sink at it, and he'd almost got worse. And because sometimes people are like, I'm fired up to prove myself better. And he almost sounded kind of despondent, like, I don't really know where I can go from here. And well, how about that for like an answer to yourself and to everyone? Like a few months later, you're world record holder over 2K.
Do you think though anything like gets trapped in your mind there about like, I don't want to repeat that season? So almost like such a good start again would trigger thoughts of like, oh my God, have I peaked, or how do I peak again?
Mm-hmm. No, I think that would just be a wonderful confidence boost. I think especially because it's 2K and he's an 8:15 guy as well. Like, he'll be delighted. Yeah,
because further to that question from Katie, that you can obviously chase fitness and chase form, and you just end up forcing it, and you don't get there, and then it gets more frustrating, and you get more and more driven to get to where you want to get to, and you're kind of not stepping off the gas enough to make the adaptations that you need to make, and obviously, an end of a season means forced layoff. You have to rest, and I just wonder whether that helps.
Unless you're Josh Hoey, in which case you don't rest.
Can we just talk about? Can we just mention Hobbs Kessler's mullet?
Oh yeah, I was going to say go faster mullet. Just wait till Millrose. Everyone's going to have a mullet.
Sure.
You're not sure?
I'm not sure.
I thought it was really cool.
You're a mullet fan, because I think we're going to get to Cam Myers in a minute, but Cam Myers is looking more and more Australian, isn't he? Like he's kind of going mullet and tash.
Yeah. I feel like he used to have a mullet, and now it's mellow.
It's kind of mullet-ish, isn't it? It's like
not quite committed.
And I kind of like the start of a tash. Like I had to look at it several times to make sure that he definitely was growing
the comment
something.
on Let's Run. There's obviously brilliant write-ups on Let's Run, but they were sort of like the bum fluff moustache reminds you he's 19. It's like he's trying, guys.
But you've got those. Because got like those the Australian team will look the same. You've got like Curtis Marshall, who will also rock them at the tash. And anyway, we're going off on a tangent, but. There are other headlines from this.
Did we mention Jake Whiteman?
No, not yet.
Because I'm trying to. It's my thing.
Yeah.
I get in trouble every time. Go on, Katie.
Well, no, I wouldn't take that honour away from you.
Thank you so much. That national record for Jake. It was a shame because he kind of
get up some quotes. Sorry, go carry on.
No, he went for it, didn't he? But faded slightly, so I think he'll be a bit frustrated. It was still, like I say, national record, but to get pipped by Sisk. The Belgian, I think it was in there, and be so far behind Fisher and Kessler. I don't think Jake will be particularly pleased with that. You got a quote?
It's just loading. But I was the same because I didn't get to watch the race live, and I saw that he got the British record and was thinking, oh, great, like he'll be really pleased with that. And then when you watch the race, it was a weirdly, I mean, obviously considering they absolutely caned out front, like it was going to be difficult, but he kind of went with them, then got pulled back, and then sort of went for it again a little bit. But I thought where are the quotes? I did save these.
No, it's okay. Well, whilst you're doing that, I mean, obviously, because they were, you say caning it right at the front. Obviously, they get a world record, so obviously it's insane. It's insanely fast.
Did you see the lights were wrong?
No,
the lights were going
the lights
too
stopped,
quick.
didn't they?
Yeah, because they'd set them too fast.
Yeah.
So Luke was saying, they're miles off the pace.
Yeah, and then they just
because I knew from our preview, I was like, no, they need to be 3:52 through the mile, which is whatever 58s, and they were bang on. And Luke was like, oh yeah, and the lights were way ahead, and we were already bigging up the pacemaker, Davis Beauvais. He pretty much PB'd. He pace-made for a mile of that 2K and ran a PB. I've never heard of him before, and I cannot wait to see what he's doing next.
Because
that was insane.
Yeah, but then the wave lights go, and you kind of have to go a bit old school in terms of what you're chasing, because they get sort of switched off, don't they? And I think, and then they're just going on feel, and they're just feeling like this is super fast.
Is that our performance of the day then? If they did it without pace, without
got to be, isn't it? And also because have we mentioned Peter Sisk yet? Obviously, he gets the European record. So, I mean, that's something that hasn't really been talked about. I haven't really seen much about that at all.
Yeah.
And we're focusing on Jake because you're looking at the top end.
Well,
and then we're getting excited about Jake, but right in the middle of that, you've got a European record, which is also brilliant.
And I think Jake's just very measured. He says 2026 season underway. Always a lot of uncertainty unknowns about racing this time of year, but all you can do is get out there and get stuck in. 4:53 national record for the rarely run 2000, a distance I've never raced and potentially will never run again. How much we read into that. After these last few years, I've learned that racing indoors is a luxury, so I'm trying to enjoy the reward of staying fit and healthy these last few months. So, like, very measured, I think, sort of as expected, but I just thought there might be a little bit more buzz. I think he's being a bit cautious, and kind of rightly so, I think, considering what his last few years have been like.
Well, what would it do for him, Hannah? What would it do for him as a 1,500 meter runner? What does that? What do you most want to get from these races?
And what it really is accountability in the training. Because if he's running the 2 mile, isn't he, in Millrose? So the sessions you're doing, they become less theoretical. Because if you kind of say, I'm going to do a 3K, 5K session, the intensity, if you know you're running the 2 mile at Millrose, is so much higher, mentally and physically. So I think it holds you to account, but also just helps you dial into that competitiveness. Because if you go months without stepping on a start line, the pressure and the expectation builds and builds and builds. So if anything, doing a little indoor season, a couple of races, for me just takes the pressure off that outdoor opener, because you're not going months, you're not going from September to May. That's that's why I would do indoors. Yeah.
Shall we go up to the women's 3,000 meters just while we're sort of in this sort of
space
area, this space?
Yes.
Yeah, let's call it this space. And we did sort of really hype up Alison Pierre, didn't we, before this race? And she, it was her track comeback, right? After the birth of her second child, and she looks like she's never really been away. We saw some incredible form from both Jess Hull and Lyndon Hall at the World Cross, and she beats both of them.
Yeah, I thought I was interested to see Lyndon versus Jess Hull, like because they were on different legs, obviously. So they're both great, and they got a world champs gold medal. But I'm not sure the last time Lyndon Hall beat Jess Hull. And I think so. I was pretty impressed with Lyndon, but I think she just played right into Elle St. Pierre's hands. I think St. Pierre was like, I don't know, it was almost like a feint kind of into the bell. She was like, oh yeah, I'm a little bit tired, let the Australian go past, and then it was just like bang, hit that last 60. And that's a track that Elle St. Pierre trains on, like it's her, it's her home track. But just, I said it in the preview, like you can't rule anything out, but I didn't really think she would be able to come straight back to an 8:26 and a win. But
incredible. Yeah.
I literally texted her coach and was like, she's my worst nightmare. Like if I'd ever had to race her, it would have been. There were some swear words in there as well.
Lucky you retired 10 years ago.
Yeah, lucky you're a has-been. No, where he just texts back, she's terrific, like delighted.
Of the 11 that completed this race, there are only 4 in there who didn't get a lifetime best in there, and one of them is Alison Pierre, and one is Jessica Hull. So obviously that's like an obvious one, but like everyone else just had an amazing race. So you've got Hannah Nuttall as well, and Elise Thorner, who are in there for GB, and Alex Millard as well. She also got a PB.
Well, Alex Millard's training with that group now with Elle St. Pierre and those Boston guys, so it's kind of cool to see her get PB. So lovely race.
We've got to address the apology on Katie's behalf of the Sunday washing in the background.
Oh, is it really loud? Sorry.
We are certainly on the last spin.
It is Sunday energy, okay, guys. Look, would you want me to smell?
You did a lot. I don't know if you know.
That's why we do these remotely.
It's a reason we're all in our own houses.
Do you want me to mute? I can mute when I'm not talking.
That'll probably confuse people more.
Yeah.
Staying with the 3,000 meters, we mentioned him already, but we might as well talk about Cam Myers, who I remember this time last year, he was also having a really good start the indoor season, wasn't he? He had a brilliant. Is it at this race where I think he had a good race, and also at this meet, and also at Millrose, and then. He didn't go. There's a lot of hype around him. Obviously, he didn't go to the World Indoor Championships. He would have been. He's only 19 now, so he would have been 18. I just think it would have been great experience for him, because obviously he gets to Tokyo, doesn't get through the heats of the 1,500 meters. What do you think? So he started the season, I think, in a very similar way, but obviously faster, and he keeps on breaking these under 20 records. He's obviously looking really good, and I just wonder where you guys think his strength is in terms of whether you see him more, his future in terms of future success maybe being more at the sort of 1,500 meters or the 5,000 meter kind of level, whether 3,000 meter World Indoor Championships is like a really good spot for him in terms of like where we were talking about sweet spots just now about Hobbs Kessler, for example. Where do we think Cam Myers' sweet spot is?
I would love to see him do World Indoors. I think like you say, you want to go into a championship environment that you can have a better opportunity at punching through, and Worlds is really hard, and like you say, sort of dealing with all those emotions. And I love he gave a great post-race interview where he said he's really working on being able to change pace, and have those gears, because he kind of felt like, yeah, I'm super fit and I can run fast times, but I can't change pace. So that could have been a reaction from Tokyo, from that experience. But he did that really well here in that race. That he took 3 seconds out of everyone else in the last 400. And I have to apologise as well for like poo-pooing his 3:49 in Washington and saying it wasn't that good. And because I said at literally the end of our preview, I was like, I was going to prove me wrong and run like 7:27 or something. And then what does he do? Run 7:27. I was like, oh, so I was like, right.
Maybe he wanted to prove you wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a generational talent, surely.
Yeah.
The way he's going to sort of push through, you can see him. The curve.
Wait, how old
if
is
the
he?
curve
How
goes
old is he now?
19.
19.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he turns 20 this. He turns 20 in
June.
this summer,
I'm
right?
just having a look.
I don't think skipping Nanjing was a bad decision.
Okay.
I don't think that was a bad decision, but I think now you've got to just get on with it. There's almost, because there's so many young superstars at the moment. It's I don't think there's any merit in saying, oh, let's chill out for another 3 years and then try and be serious. It's like, no, you just need to crack on with it. You strike whilst the iron's hot.
It's
get
so
that
hard,
experience.
isn't it? It's so hard, like thinking about how with how much you sort of hold athletes back, and just because maybe we don't know. It's possible he would wanted to go to Nanjing, for example, and try and compete for a medal. And coach just says it's not worth it. Yeah.
Well, just another note that everyone was confused about why he wasn't at World Cross, and then it's come out that he had some medical issues and he wasn't going to get clearance to travel from his doctor anywhere near in time to let them get a replacement for Tallahassee. So he took himself out of the running.
Okay.
In December, just said, like, I can't leave everyone kind of let's make a decision and send someone else. But
it's so important at that age that he's got like good people around him, right? To be able, are you laughing at the washing machine? I think genuinely is.
No, that's what it's once. What it's like. Well, I'm done. No, I'm not.
I know this sound. I think.
It's sucking you in. It's got one more.
Oh, I hope not. It's really annoying me. What was I even saying?
Cam Myers.
Have those people around you. Yeah, because you don't want to be rushed. How many junior generational talents have we seen come through and I'm not saying people have advised them wrong, but for various reasons have crashed and burned. And I just think that versatility as well. You don't want to like get rid of the excitement he clearly has for it all and his ability to go across all these. So yeah.
I'm just going through some other results we're not going to go too in depth with, but I'm sure there's lots of celebrations in the England gun household with Izzy Boffey getting an 800-meter indoor PB. So she was second behind.
Close in well.
Close in a 28. Just saying.
Nice.
So second in 2 minutes, very low, behind Rasheen Willis. 1,500 meters, the women's 1,500 meters. We saw Sinclair Johnson, who turned up in her new gear. She's now a Hoka. Do you know which way is it meant to say that? She's split with Nike and gone with someone else, or Nike, because this pronunciations of major
Brits
sportswear giants. But we had there was a good race as well from Sarah Calvert, again just keeping things within the family here. This podcast. But Dorcas Iwoy beating Sinclair Johnson in that one. I want to focus a little bit more on I want to get to Noah Lyles, which we will do in just a moment, and a good performance for Dina as well. 400 metres, women's 400 metres.
Can I say one thing about the 60 and the 60 hurdles quickly? Did you spot how big the blocks were?
We're going to get to the 60 in a second.
Oh, okay, I'll say that.
We're going to get there in a moment. But I just think before we go to the sprints, we go down in the sprints anyway. We saw Anna Hall turn out in the 400 metres, but she was beaten by a Brit.
Yeah, go on, Nicole Jürgen.
Yeah. She judged that really well.
I really liked the fight down the home straight from Jürgen. I thought it was, really. I want to say it's one of the best paced indoor races I've kind of seen her done. Looking that good. Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah. So Jürgen winning that one ahead of Anna Hall. Okay. Do you want to talk first of all about Noah Lyles and his race, the 300 meters, which I don't know why I'm saying Noah Lyles. It's won by Doreen Richards, obviously, but the focus was all on Noah Lyles. Let's go there first then. So 300 meters, the sort of one of the quirky distance races. It was won by a whisker by Doreen Richards ahead of Noah Lyles. Vernon Norwood and Trayvon Bromell were also in this one.
I mean, it was on the dip, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, all on the dip.
He should have dipped. Yeah.
Why didn't you dip?
Do you think it's
did
like,
know.
yeah, come on. Or we blatantly could have done 32 seconds for 300. I wonder if it's like, Dream Richards is used to being very, very tired and dipping. Lyles is used to sort of executing a dip. So I wonder if you just get slightly confused by that just massive fatigue. And you'd be probably thinking, hold your form, all these cues, and then just drop the ball with the dip. That would be which is fine, which I think is, whereas Dream Richards, he does at every race, he's, swimming in that 400 metre tight lactic. But I like, again, in the preview, I was like, no, I think this could be made for Dream Richards, a 300, if he's a 200, 400 guy. So I was kind of...
Were you right again, Hannah?
I was right again. Yeah. I wasn't right on everything this weekend, but some of it.
So he's as for Noah Lyles, it was what do you think make of the performance as early season form? He's been talking the talk afterwards as well. He said he's going to have a heavy season scheduled, even though it's an off year. What do you think?
I felt like I couldn't really take much from it at all. I didn't think it really gave anything away. Did you?
No, I don't think so.
What did he say? He's going to do 60 at USA's, but not World Indoors. So again, I think it's just a bit of a show your face. I thought break up your training.
Yeah, and I thought he looked strong in the home straight. That's why I was convinced he was going to win it, and it was just slightly confusing as to. It's not like he pulled up or anything. I think you're totally right, Hannah. I think it was like he doesn't have that in the locker necessarily for
or
at that
not
point
automatically.
Exactly. Yeah.
The quote from Noah is that we're going to get a heavy dose of Noah Lyles this year still. So we'll come back to him later on in the men's 60.
I love the way you say that, Rich.
Rich reading Noah Lyles' clothes.
Yeah, it's really good. We should make start a YouTube page of that or something.
Right. Men's 60 won by Akeem Blake. He beat Eloy Benitez in that one. There was also a world lead in the 60 meters hurdles from Trey Cunningham. Let's talk about Dina though, because I thought in this she started incredibly well. Like her start was so explosive. She beat Brianna. How do you say her surname?
Pass. Come on, I've been having Indika Monai all winter. You guys could do this.
I just call him the Spaniard, so I
know. Well, Dina Asher-Smith winning in 7:08, and it's sort of we saw like what she run last week in
7:18. Yeah, so she's pretty close to getting really close to her PB when she hasn't done indoors for 3 years.
Brianna Liston.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed that, and I hope we see Dina do a few more.
Do you think do we know anything about what she's doing for World Indoors?
I reckon she'd do it. I reckon
she would do it.
Yeah, if she's doing this.
I think she will.
I think she will. But can I make my silly
maybe
point?
This year she will. It's kind of based off recent years. She just doesn't really do it.
But then maybe she's been like, if you're healthy and you, I don't know, want like a bit less pressure and have a go. But I thought, I don't know, if you didn't see it, it won't make any sense to you. But the blocks were ginormous that they were putting their feet on, and it made everyone look at 4 foot. It was really cracking me up.
I didn't notice.
I'm going to have to find a picture and put that as like a...
I'll
find a picture for you.
I haven't seen anything like that.
It was like made Cordell Tinch look like he was 4 foot tall. It was really cracking me up. But small things on a Saturday night. That's my Saturday night for you.
Keema Phillips winning the... what was it? 600 meters.
Yeah,
is that right?
Great.
Guys, there's so many quirky distances that I'm trying to keep my head around what actually happens. Okay, should we move on to
Millrose.
Just quickly talk about Millrose, because we've got a busy week coming up. Lots of episodes dropping this week, so keep an eye as well. If you're not subscribed or following, make sure you are, because every day there's going to be some big news dropping and some great stuff for you. Okay, but Millrose is next weekend, and let's just pick out the highlights. I guess. Can
it go on? Commit. Which is better then, the men's mile or the men's 2 mile? Because they're both absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, I'm going to go for the men's 2 mile.
Yeah.
That's exciting me a lot more. And so we talked about what, the 2 mile.
I mean, they're both. Yeah, I'd say the mile nudges it, but yeah, that's just me.
Really? Well, yeah, you're more like
you are allowed to disagree.
Back in your wheelhouse as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got Fisher going in this one again. We've got Cole Hocker, and that's enough after what happened last year, the way they were pushing each other. But let's throw in there Josh Kerr, who we've not seen for a while, and God, are we hoping for him to be back to his best after the last time we saw him in Tokyo?
Oh, it was heartbreaking.
It really was. So we want to see him. We really want to see him perform well. Jordan Beamish is going to be there. We've got Jake Whiteman in there too. It's going to be. I think maybe
Kai
also we're looking at
Robinson.
Kai Robinson.
Yeah,
we're also looking.
yeah.
We're looking at it from also slightly through that British lens. So for me, that's why, because you've got Fisher against Hocker, and then you've got the return of Kerr, just not knowing where he is. Whiteman started really well, and so I think that is why that's exciting.
And I think Josh Kerr is brilliant at just coming out and doing one phenomenal indoor race. I think this could be it. Like, I think he could just come out and drop an absolute bomb.
Also, he is going to be fired,
frustrated.
up.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Where are we looking at in terms of a statement time?
Oh, don't ask me to think about a 2 mile time. I've got literally, I can't.
You don't need to start thinking about it. No, you don't have to. You have to literally
means.
pick out the time, but more. Which of these races? I think we're only focusing very quickly on the men's 2 mile, the men's mile, and the women's mile.
Mm-hmm.
Which of those three is the one that sort of makes people sort of raise an eyebrow, sit up and take notice?
I think they'll get a world record in the men's 2 mile. I don't think they will in the men's mile. I think they'll run. That's what I said about Josh Hoey. I was like, yeah, he might dip under 1:43, but he's not going to get the world record. So I'd be saying that again in that men's mile. I think they could run 3:44, but not quite get the world record.
And in the men's mile, it's the return of Yaron Negus, who broke the world record last year, lasted for just days.
We haven't even talked there about Cole Hocker's American record lasting 24 hours. In the 2K, yeah, that was a bit like
yeah.
So he might be fired up in that 2 mile.
And experience, Yaron Negus experience last year. So I was fortunate enough to commentate on the Yaron Negus world record last year at Millrose, and obviously it lasted till like midweek.
Yeah, do I get bragging rights? Because then I commentated on Ingebrigtsen. Yeah. So I am the reigning world record holder commentator.
Where was that? In Levan, isn't it?
Yeah.
So he did that there. But again, you're talking about athletes being fired up. Yaron Negus is another one after the disappointment of missing out on Tokyo. So he's back looking to make a statement. Josh Hoey goes in this one. Hobbs Kessler goes in this one as well, already in world record form. Cam Myers, we talked about, Ollie Hort back to form after the. Yeah, it's difficult actually to make the. Can we just not go for a winner? Are you going for Kessler?
I am, yeah. Because I think Josh Hoey might be slightly impatient.
Yeah,
I think he'll get like 400 to go and go, phew, it's a slightly longer race, but I've got 400 to go. And Negus loves to run from the front. I think Kessler will just sit, and then he'll
his
win.
Turn of pace in Boston as well was
after what he was
impressive.
saying before, this whole thing about the phrase again, don't squeeze, explode. So that's what we've got to look out for.
So I'm perfectly happy to be, I've been right so many times this week. I'm happy to be right. I really haven't. I've only spoken about the ones I was right on. So.
And the women's mile, sort of similar mix up to what we've just seen in Boston. So got Al St. Pierre back again. Dorcas Stewart, who's shown good form in the 1500 meters in Boston. Jess Hull's back again. And we haven't seen yet Nikki Hiltz. And so that's the first opportunity to see Nikki. Sinclair Johnston's in it too. Again, it's pretty loaded, isn't it? What have we got from a British point of view in this one?
Do you know I won the one I want to make a mile one year?
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you
so
really?
I won't get normally I commentate. Well, often I commentate.
So you can't say it.
Yeah, but I can't say it. Yeah, exactly. You can't say it when you're commentating.
What year was it?
I won this.
2010. But when it was
in the 2010 champion.
Yeah, it was in the what's it called? The Madison Square Gardens. It was like 11 laps the mile. It was the craziest thing I've ever done. It wasn't. It's a track that's built round a basketball stadium, basically, an indoor. Yeah, so
you
did
get a shout out in Rob Walker's commentary yesterday.
I did, yeah. No, I did. I do think that high schooler did run a bit like me. Yeah, I was like, I can see some heel striking strength there. Yeah, I see her.
She can reach out if she needs.
Yeah, when your plantar starts hurting, come call to me. Yeah. Got Achilles problems? That's me. No,
actually, very nearly. I was looking at whether there's any tickets left, and obviously there aren't. But there were still for Boston. I was thinking, I'm going to go to. If there's tickets available, I'm going to book a flight, and the flights were actually really cheap.
Oh, were they?
Yeah,
because it was minus 16. No one else wanted to be there.
Exactly.
And then the Australian Open happened. Damn it!
Yeah.
No, I could have gone next week, but it's sold out, which is great because I remember the atmosphere. That is the premier indoor meet, isn't it, of the season? Because it's just so well. It just me neither. It just sounds. That's why I want to go. It just sounds like the noise is incredible. And then what else before
Sorry,
we move on?
I've totally hijacked that mile chat. It looks like a great mile. I just want
It's just like a great mile. We only talked about Hannah England.
Throwback. But yes, it looks very good.
Oh, Katerina Stefanidi back in the pole vault as well after after an absence to start a family.
And talking of babies.
There we go.
Hannah and I were just exchanging messages the last few days, like, "Whoa, Sydney's pregnant!" But that's. I mean, it's obviously congratulations to her and her husband, Sydney McLaughlin-Ravone, having a baby, and it sounded like, just from what her post was saying, that it's something they've wanted for a while, and it's obviously happening, which is very exciting. But in terms of what it means for the season as well, is just really interesting. No, I mean, it throws everything open, doesn't it? And all the possibilities back out there.
We were talking after Tokyo about what she do next, because there's all these questions about, like, do you step up to the 800 meters, or like, what do you do next to make it more of a challenge? But this is the biggest challenge for her now to start. So that's big enough. So congratulations to them. Those genes in that baby are going to be insane.
Absolutely obscene, isn't it? I think that baby could do literally whatever it wanted. Oh wow.
The one thing before we just move on, we're just going to quickly go through some quick announcements that have also been around, some other news, but we haven't touched on some other Brits that have performed well over the weekend. So Jeremiah Azu and Romo Glaive have looked good over the last few days.
Really
and which one of them was it that beat Kashane Thompson?
So Glaive beat Azu and Thompson in Stockholm.
Right.
Yeah, and he's the world lead, I think, Rommel Glaive. And then Jeremiah Azu backed it up with a win in Dusseldorf. So he got 2 races back to back, very good. But great running from them.
And of course, so Jeremiah Azu will be targeting a defense of his world indoor title, you would think, which is going to be good. Okay, just quickly, because we're going to be previewing these in the next few weeks anyway, but it's obviously we're approaching the spring marathon majors, and London is, I assume, is coming up soon. But Boston and Tokyo announced their fields, and Boston got in first, so you can start to sort of draw your who's going to be in London from these announcements really as well. Boston, I think, was a bit of a shame here, because we're not going to get Sharon Lokedi against Helen Obiri again, not yet. But Lokedi's back to defend her title, and she outkicks Obiri on this occasion, having been basically beaten the whole time. So she's back to defend her title. And when you look at the depth of the women's field, even if you are a big marathon fan, it doesn't get you that excited. I think Lokedi is almost, she has a decent day. She's pretty much nailed on to win, and they get big appearance fees to come back and defend the titles, and then obviously the winning's good, so you understand why she's doing it. We talked to her, didn't we? What was it, 3 or 4 months ago? I think we'd quite like to see her have a go at a fast one as well at some point, but you get why she's back.
And do you think like Kelly Helga Thackeray being in this one, I mean, we said this before Chicago as well, which unfortunately was the DNF for Callie. But I mean, again, is a podium possible for the Brit when you look at this? When you look at this field and who's sort of been able to commit to Boston versus some of the other big ones? Is it a podium opportunity?
Well, she finished 6th last year, so she knows the course, she knows where to make the improvements, where the trickier parts are to negotiate differently, you can't even split a Boston Marathon, obviously, so you've got to try and figure out where to go for it and where to hang back a little bit. So maybe, I mean, it's still a very decent field. There are quite a lot of sub 220, sub 218 women in this. Irene Cheptai's in it, Agnieszka Dessler, and we'll preview this obviously nearer the time.
We can get ahead of myself.
Yeah, we are getting ahead of ourselves, but Lokedi is the overwhelming favourite in that. The men's does look a lot more interesting in terms of head-to-heads, when you're looking at sort of it being a little bit more open between the main headliners. Benson Kipruto, who we just had on the podcast just a couple of weeks ago, won New York, completed the American set. He's back. So he's going for first Boston win since 2021. John Careers, the defending champion, and looked brilliant at the end of last year when he won in Valencia with a big PB, and then Alphonse Simbu as well, world champion, and we've not seen him since Tokyo. So he was second in Boston last year, and that's the reason why. I know you're very kind at giving me the shout.
No. I do think that
you're saying about how I
tipped
him for the win, but I mean, it was that Boston victory and the slightly sort of up and down course in Tokyo that kind of gave me encouragement that he could do it, and he is. another one to watch. I think we saw the grit. He has got grit.
So, yeah. No, I think that's 20th of April, isn't it, Boston?
Yeah, it's a Monday before. It's the Monday before London. So in the same week we got Boston and London. So on top of that, we also now know who's running Tokyo too, and Bridget Kosgei is sort of leading the way in the women's event in Tokyo. Who will Bridget Kosgei be representing?
We haven't had time to.
What flag will be? We're still not confirmed, is it?
Yeah, so not next week. We've got a lot going on next week. The week after that, we can try and get our head around the allegiance transferees and who is going to represent Turkey. Because I saw some graphic going around with some huge names that were being put on this story, and I'm like, hang on a minute, we need to properly try and get to the bottom of that.
We've talked about doing it, haven't we, for a while, with some experts who really know the deal, and also not just what Turkey's doing, but also why everyone's leaving Jamaica. I mean, money is a big factor, but why mostly Jamaicans are heading over there. So Kosgei representing either Kenya or Turkey, or maybe neutral flag. Who knows? What's if it's not all confirmed by then? Satuma Sefa Kabede is also there. She's won the last two Tokyo, so it's obvious that she'd be back. And Hawi Fesa, who was one of the stories of last year. I think we did our performances of the year, didn't we? Maybe next year we'll put in an underrated performance of the year, sort of one that no one's was really talking. I say next year, this year. This year. We're in 2026. But she had such an underrated performance. Of course, it's absolutely bucketing it down. It's disgusting. It's hammering the window.
You notice my washing has finished, though.
Yes,
I was correct. The last cycle.
We'll hear the Manchester Rain next. Next on KG
Any
Sound.
thoughts on that, though, of the women's race?
No, I think Kabede coming back, having won the last two, that's pretty interesting to me. I think, like you say, people know the course and they know what they're doing. Great to see Kosgei sort of back into kind of almost her very best form. But I think
the
nice
Ethiopians in the World Championships decided that they sort of went. It made sense, but they didn't go very imaginative with their selections for the World Championships in Tokyo. They basically went for everyone who's been successful in Tokyo before. It didn't work out.
Didn't work. No.
For them. Obviously, Tikis Sefa got quite close, but she wasn't one of the ones who sort of factored into that. In the men's side, though, you got Tadesse Tekele, who struggled at the World Championships. He's back as a reigning champion in the men's, and you got Alex Matiso, who was obviously just beaten on the line by Benson Kipruto at the New York City Marathon. So he's there. Vincent Ngetic as well, just a little mention for him, because there's a lot of excitement about him. And actually, Hannah, I remember when we were doing our prep for this, I think he was meant to be at World Championships, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he was. I think he was there, but he didn't run as well as we thought he'd do. I think he did. I think he was on the start line.
Was it? Which way around was it that he went to? Did he go to somewhere else instead?
No, I feel like he was. Yeah, we can. Well,
anyway.
When we do you said Tokyo 1st of March, so that will actually come up really quickly. We're going to preview that in a month or so. Yeah, it's
kind of surprising in some ways that it took so long to announce the fields for Tokyo.
True,
but that's all out now, so you can from some of those names that we've said, maybe you can start to sort of think about who might be at London.
Who's left over?
But there's a lot of big names missing from those two races, so we're expecting some big things from London. Okay, should we call it there, because we've got a big week coming up. Like I say, keep an eye on your feeds, because a lot coming your way. So enjoy your Sundays, everyone, and we'll be back on Monday.
I'm off to hang up my washing.
I'm so excited for you. I still need to get I've got some items of your clothing at my house.
You do
last year. More on that. More on that.
Weird way, guys.
We're still recording.
Right, see you later. Bye.